Okay, guys, hopefully this won't be like a super long video. I'm gonna try to make it short as possible, but I do want to get into the energies of the 888 Lionsgate portal energy and also Venusian energy. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the 888 portal. I did take some notes too, so I'm just looking at my notes. And let me just write down this quick message right here. It says here, enjoy your magic. Most people need a reaction to feel powerful. Cleanse, detach, and stay positive. Okay, so when I was channeling this energy, it's sort of like when you think about like the laws, right? Everything has a law, everything has like a code of conduct. And so when it comes to your energy, it's the same thing. You can literally make your own creations, spells, and rituals when it comes to your own energy. So therefore, like if you're going to go out in public, you want to make sure that you are protected and safe within your own energies. You can do that with creating your own laws. Also, the Lionsgate energy represents that particular type of energy because it represents being seen and being heard and being out there like in the public eye. Now for the darker parts of this, you might be attracting energy that you do not want, right? So therefore you're going to set intentions for the type of energy that you do want. And if you are met with energy that you don't want, you're going to be able to repel that if you are doing your spell work and your magic. So some of you may have a Lilith placement, and the Lilith energy is the more darker elements of our birth chart. And so that can represent being out in society and not being accepted for who you are, or you just like refusing um, the essence of what I want to say, like structures, right? Different things that are already built. It's sort of like this Capricorn energy. You're like, okay, I repel it. That's how I was when I was younger. When I was in high school, I had like people that I was associated with, or like different groups and everything, but I've always made a choice to stand on the outside on purpose because I'm like, okay, I see the group, I see, the components of the group. However, because you guys are so, and I mean like people in society are so wishy-washy, and they're fragile when it comes to their own personalities. I wasn't never comfortable with that. And so I used to be like, I see, the group is cute, but you guys can flip just like that. And so I've always wanted to stand outside of that, if that makes sense. Fast forward today, I feel the same way when it comes to society. And when I do see society, it's like, okay, I just see a bunch of people who are equally narcissistic and they're kind of just going back and forth. It's like we have all of the tools to change. You guys don't want to change. We're here on Earth. The Earth literally produces minerals, water, fruits, food, um, gold, diamonds, and you guys still don't want to do what you need to do. But okay. And so with this type of energy, I do want you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to grab a few ingredients so that way you can get a better understanding. Okay, guys, so when I am in this energy of like doing my rituals, my sacred divine energies, I create like rose water to work with my beauty magic, right? And here is some oil. I'm almost down to the last bit, and I do have more, so I'm gonna make some more of that. But I like to put roses inside to represent like my beauty, my energy, what I'm doing it for. And also when you're making like your beauty rituals from home, and you can also source like different elements from outside, but if you're making your own products at home, I'm gonna set these right here, you can always incorporate different meanings to it, right? If you're going to do a spell for protection or to protect your beauty, excuse me, to be in within that sacred energy, is sort of like when you're producing perfume and oils, right? Essential oils, you can always incorporate that inside of that to protect your aura as well. Okay, guys, so I ran to go get a few things. Now, when you're working with like your chakra energy, right? Of course, I like to work with food. Anytime you're cooking food, you're literally manifesting. So it's really important for you to take the time to eat really healthy. And yes, you can enjoy like your treats and everything like that, but to enjoy also eating healthy and creating spells and rituals around that. Like every year, I like to, and I probably will include the pictures, but I like to do my sacred goddess rituals, and that's just me doing like a goddess bath, and I also add fruit inside of my bath water. And so if you're working with, let's see, with this lionscape that's happening, I would say the lower parts of your body, excuse me for that, um, you're working with the root chakra, the solar plexus, sacral chakra, right? And so it's going to be good to have fruit that represent that, right? And I have like some fresh mangoes that I can work with, right? Cherries. So if I'm doing a smoothie, I may call it like a goddess smoothie or something. Boom. There's the energy, there's the intentions right there. So I did receive more energy. Here's my notes right here. And I did write down, okay, say if you belong to a foundation, you may say to yourself, I don't like this foundation. I don't like this structure. I want to go create my own, right? You will need the tools. It's sort of like Saturn energy. You will need the tools to help you with that, right? And so you might require a little bit more patience, more education, anything. And so it also says here, there's a difference between, let's see, holding back your energies, self-sabotaging, and also not giving to your environment. So the self-sabotaging can be due to somebody else in the environment, meaning that you are not able to be yourself and you're not able to be authentic. Then you might be like, okay, I feel like something is going on. This energy is not resonating with me, opposed to being a late bloomer or having a little bit more patience, like we just talked about, and working with Saturn and Capricorn energy, right? Because it's like, it's not just like a fragile foundation. It's going to be rooted and set in stone. And so that's going to take a little bit more time. And yes, this is going to require for you to be a little bit more strategic when you're setting your foundations and all of your ingredients and everything that you're working with. Some people, they like where they are and they're like, okay, well, I can just take a little bit and add a little bit here and there, blah, blah, blah. Some people, they like, look, I understand what I have. It worked as far as it's going to work for right now, but I want to do something totally different. And you have the right to do so. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And this is again a part of the whole Lionsgate Venusian energy. I'm not sure where Venus is right now, however, but this energy feels really magical, really creative, and you can have fun. Also, before I forget, work on your beauty magic as well. Take care of your skin, nails, makeup, jewelry, hair. You guys know. Take care.